For now, I have 5 minutes, so I should work within this 5 minutes, all right?
Yes, please.
So
Yes,
I
please.
wouldn't elaborate too much because our panel is a very exciting panel. And because of the depth of the engagement, we've decided that we're going to be writing a book. There's going to be a book project that will emerge from this panel discussion. So what I will raise now, or what I will share, are principles that we picked up. So it will just be in point form. So the first principle is the notion of ethics, how we need to revise and rethink our ethics policy, because it is so stuck in an academic framework that does marginalize the voices and the partnerships of communities and all people on the outside of the university frame. Secondly, the notion of a social impact assessment tool that is being piloted within the university, how we need to share that pilot and how we need to work with, with a university as a social impact assessment tool. Wow, that was a mouthful. Okay, so another point was the importance of the value of economic and commercial, uh, you know, knowledge that is coming from indigenous communities, and how we need to firstly recognize it, and secondly, also to uh, to uh, to to include the whole notion of inclusion, that we don't only recognize that knowledge and use that knowledge, but we also, in our research projects, etc., include the community as co-producer of that knowledge. Yeah, there was a very important point on intellectual property rights and the appropriation of intellectual property, and how the system has encouraged us to do that, especially you guys in the sciences for NELWA with patents, etc., and how you go that line because it brings in lots of funding, but how the knowledge that came from the indigenous communities is silenced. There's a need for a conversation that came out strongly in our panel on the Khoi and the San and the knowledges and the issues that arise at grassroots levels in these communities. I have to go a bit faster. And how the research framework has to engage more strongly with communities, and right from the beginning. Yeah, I discussed co-authorship and the notion of innovation, how it needs to embrace all aspects of community engagement. And then the principle of inclusion. Yeah, also time. It takes time. It takes, we had a case study of how to gain access into the community, but although it takes time, you could create an advisory committee and you could create a steering committee, because then you get the community to also monitor the research project. So you give them some power as well. And then we looked at the notion of decolonizing methodologies to across the board in the university, how we stuck, within Western paradigms of research methodologies, and how working with communities, we stop seeing them as research subjects only, but also as co-writers and co-producers of knowledge. I'm almost finished. And then the whole notion of the agency and ideas around the diversity and respect for communities. And of course, the neoliberal university, how we focus so much on money and we're not focusing on knowledge production. If we focus on knowledge production, then we will respect our co-producers of knowledge. But because we're focusing on money, on quantity of our research, on units, etc., we are stuck within a paradigm that we are calling the neoliberal university paradigm. Yes, Chair, thank you.